I felt an immense pressure to perfect every meal. And the problem with doing this is that it causes a lot of stress. Rather than perfecting mealtime, a better solution is to consistently do just okay. Hi, I'm Kiyah Duffey, nutrition expert, entrepreneur, speaker, and mom of 3. I help busy, health-conscious parents transform their family's relationship with food. When my kids were a lot younger, given my background in nutritional epidemiology, all of the research I had done specifically around how we can help kids develop healthier eating habits from the moment they start eating solid foods, I felt an immense pressure to perfect every meal. I felt like every time they ate, it was an opportunity for them to learn something important about food, about how it fuels us, how it does not need to control us, how we do not need to control it. I mean, I felt an immense pressure to perfect. And the problem with doing this is that it causes a lot of stress. And because of that stress, actually giving my kids a message about food that I also didn't want to give them, which is that it was something that they needed to be thinking about all the time. Rather than feeling stress to perfect every meal, let go of the idea of perfection and instead focus on making purposeful decisions that lead to good enough meals. And your ability to do this consistently over time is what will have a greater impact on your kids' habits and relationships with food than any perfect dinner you could provide. How do you do this? There are several things to keep in mind as you're working through this process of letting go of perfection. The first is to make sure that you're prioritizing your core values, be it maintaining family traditions or exploring new cultures or prioritizing time together or nutritious, balanced meals. Whatever it is that your goals are and your values are, making sure that you are continually focusing your meals on those will help you be able to claim the wins when you follow your values and stay true to your values. And it doesn't matter so much what happens at the end of a meal, whether someone eats something or doesn't, if you are continually providing meals that, again, align with your core values. Number 2, planning ahead, but staying flexible. And I know I've talked about this before. For me, it's really important that I have some kind of a plan that I know that I can follow and or fall back on. And I make sure that my plan has some flexibility built in so that I can maintain consistency and success, even if my plan doesn't go exactly to plan in any given day. Okay, number 3, focus on the idea of balance over a longer time frame, say a week rather than a given meal. By changing the time frame that you're using to help you identify your goals or to determine whether you hit your goals, it can help reduce the pressure and make hitting those goals and having sustainable habits easier over a longer time period. Okay. Idea number 4 for making sure that you're making purposeful decisions and setting aside perfection is to involve your kids. The moment your kids step into the kitchen with you, perfection goes out the window. But it also is an incredible opportunity to involve them in the process and purposeful decision making, and you get them involved in helping decide what it is that they might want to eat. The other day, a friend was telling me about how her daughter only wanted quesadillas with cheese, and that she really wished she could get her to try something else in her quesadilla. It's all she ever wants for lunch, and she's really stuck on how to get her out of it. A friend was telling me the other day that her daughter would only eat quesadillas with cheese. And she had been wanting her to try other things in her quesadilla, but her daughter was just absolutely not adamant. Nope, I'm not gonna do that. So one day she invited her to come to the counter and make the quesadilla with her. And next to the quesadilla on the plate, she served some black beans, which her daughter loved. And the next time they made a quesadilla, she said, "Do you want to come help me make the quesadilla? And what do you think it would taste like if the black beans went inside this time?" And her daughter was very curious. And because she was there helping to make it, she got to choose where the black beans went. And lo and behold, she ate it. So involve your kids in mealtime decisions. It might not happen the first time that they try something new or that they're willing to put something brand new into their quesadillas or their sandwiches or on their plates, but consistency is key. Okay, the next tactic to help you let go of perfection is to try and set realistic expectations. I often talk about this when it comes to meal planning. The very first step I take when I'm planning my meals is to look at my calendar, to try to understand what my day involves, particularly what my after school time and after work time involves, so that I'm planning meals that are realistic for how much time I actually have that day and how much energy, frankly, I might have or feel like I might have at the end of a day. And so on those days when I am packed with meetings and after school activities, I don't try to plan a meal that is going to take me an hour to prepare. That is when I need something quick and easy to put together. So set realistic expectations for yourself so that you can show up consistently. Next, emphasize connection over perfection. Mealtimes, whatever mealtime it is, even if you aren't able to have family dinners together, whatever time you have with your kids, even if it's sitting in the car together before dance practice, eating takeout, it is a time that you have to be together and to connect with your kids, with your partners, with your family, with your friends. So focus on the connection that you're able to have with the people that you're enjoying food with, rather than the idea of having a perfect meal. And again, remember, there is no such thing as a perfect meal. Lastly, and I know I've talked about this before, even last week, find ways to identify and celebrate the small wins that you have. Those are the things that will keep you motivated and keep you going when it feels like everything else is failing or falling apart. Maybe it's that your toddler stayed at the table for a minute longer than yesterday. Maybe it is that you were all able to make it to lunch together today or to the dinner table. Maybe it is that you started a new practice and your kids are helping to clear the table at the end of the day and nobody complained. Or maybe someone said, it's okay, instead of, ugh, gross. Whatever the small win is, identify it, and even if it's just in your own head, celebrate it.